Hello everyone, my name is Tiago Romão and I'm presenting the position paper Instructor Situation Awareness for Pedagogical Orchestration in AI-Mediated Immersive Online Higher Education. This paper addresses a central challenge in contemporary online higher education. How could a structure sustain pedagogical oversight when learning takes place across immersive, data-rich, and AI-mediated learning environments? AI agents are becoming more and more present in higher education. Their use may be formal, when institutions integrate them into the learning platforms, into the assessment processes, and as tutoring systems. But their use may also be informal, when instructors and students rely on AI tools to support their study, to automate tasks, to assist with research, or to mediate learning environments. This changes the structure of teaching and learning. The instructor is no longer only a content expert or a facilitator of online activities. In AI immersive learning environments, the instructor must also act as a learning coordinator, as a supervisor, and a mediator of human AI interactions. This creates a new pedagogical problem. Instructors need to understand not only what learners are doing, but also how AI agents, platforms, and data flows and immersive environments are shaping the learning. Hence, the core problem addressed in this paper, the difficulty of sustaining instructor oversight. AI-mediated, immersive online higher education makes pedagogical orchestration more complex. There are multiple actors, data sources, interactions, learning spaces, and AI-generated outputs that may unfold at the same time across interconnected systems. This means that instructors may face a fragmented view of the learning activity. They may have access to data, dashboards, or to AI outputs, but they still lack a coherent understanding of what is happening, why it matters pedagogically, and what kind of intervention may be required from them. In this context, the central issue is not only to access the information, it is the instructor capacity to perceive, interpret, and act upon that information. To address this, the paper brings together two key concepts: situation awareness and pedagogical orchestration. Situation awareness refers to the instructor's ability to perceive relevant learners and system states, comprehend their meaning in relation to pedagogical goals, and project their likely evolution in order to inform timely intervention. Pedagogical orchestration refers to the deliberate and dynamic coordination of activities, resources, and actors, both human and artificial, to align learning processes with learning outcomes. The connection between these concepts is central. Instructors cannot orchestrate effectively if they do not understand the learning situation. However, orchestration is not only understood here as a direct instructor's control of all the learning activity. It is a distributed process involving students, AI agents, learning system, and instructors, with instructor retaining responsibility for the pedagogical coherence and judgment. In this paper, immersion is not treated only as a sensory or technological feature. It is also understood as a condition involving cognitive, emotional, contextual, and ethical engagement with AI-mediated learning environments. Therefore, the central argument of this paper is that situation awareness supports pedagogical orchestration. This means that the instructor's ability to coordinate learning depends on more than the AI tools or platform data. It depends on whether those tools and data actually support the instructor's understanding of the learning situation. If the instructors cannot perceive relevant changes, understand their pedagogical significance, or anticipate their implications, AI-mediated learning may increase complexity rather than reduce it. Therefore, this paper argues that for a situation-aware approach to pedagogical orchestration, one in which AI and immersive technologies are designed not to displace pedagogical judgment, but to sustain the instructor's situation awareness and their capacity to orchestrate learning. The proposed contribution is a move towards a situation-aware orchestration framework. This framework positions instructors as orchestrators who align AI mediation with pedagogical intent, safeguard student agency, sustain coherence, oversight, and academic integrity. The paper contributes in three main ways. First, it integrates situation awareness and pedagogical orchestration as complementary concepts for understanding teaching in AI-mediated online higher learning. Secondly, it proposes a need for design guidelines that support instructors rather than merely automating instructional tasks. Third, it argues that responsible use of AI should sustain the instruction situation awareness, particularly in environments where learning activities, AI mediation, and system behavior are distributed across multiple spaces and platforms. This research follows a design science research approach organized in 5 stages. The first stage involves conceptual and theoretical grounding, connecting literature on situation awareness, pedagogical orchestration, AI agents, immersive learning, and online higher education. The second stage maps institutional practices and ethical considerations, with attention to how AI-mediated learning is designed, supported, and constrained in higher education contexts. The third stage involves exploratory qualitative studies with instructors in order to understand how they experience oversight, decision-making, and orchestration in AI-mediated online environments. The fourth stage involves co-design workshops and focus groups, supporting the development of the framework. Finally, the fifth stage involves expert review and a limited pilot application, allowing the proposed framework to be refined and assessed. The intended outcome is not simply a technical model, but a pedagogical and a design-oriented framework for supporting instructor awareness and orchestration. AI should not displace pedagogical judgment. It should sustain the instructor's situation awareness and strengthen their capacity to orchestrate learning. Thank you for watching this video abstract. I look forward to discussing how situation awareness, pedagogical orchestration, and AI agents can be brought together to support the future of online higher education.